Ira, we've got Mitul as well, but just one quick perspective from you. What did you make of it? I was speaking to Anant and he said that there's nothing new that has come out, something that we all know, but there's a bit of a course correction that Moody's has taken to the 2017 call.
No, there's no denying that, right? Moody's was the outlier when they raised India's rating 2017. A lot of us, including BloombergQuint, called it a leap of faith from Moody's, and we were, lambasted for it. Well, that's the way it's played out, right? In India, it's you have to see the proof of the pudding of reforms. We didn't see that, and Moody's has now said. But I think, apart from what they did and what they haven't done, I think the messaging is something that everybody in India should be taking note of, right? That this is a prolonged slowdown. It's going to be tough to reverse it, that we're going to be growing nominal GDP-wise at lower levels than we have for longer. So all of that is certainly concerning. But let me go across to Mitul Kotecha. I think he's joining us on the phone line. Mitul, how are the markets going to read this? Sure, it may not be unanticipated, but it's hardly adding good news to a state of bad news that we've had.
Yeah, that's correct. I think generally sentiment has already been a little bit cautious about a host of worries from international investors, including certainly on the fiscal side, weaker growth, and certainly worries that things may not improve too quickly. And I think, as you said, I mean, the discussion has been clear. Moody's announcement is not new in terms of the rationale, but I think they just outlined something that has been on a lot of investors' minds. We've seen obviously some weakness in the rupee and in likely further weakness in India's markets today. But at the same time, the global environment has improved, so I think we may see some of the weakness capped. I mean, certainly for Asia, there has been strong inflows, and India as well benefited from massive inflows into the equity market in recent weeks and months. And I think we may see some of the damage capped just because the external environment has improved, and certainly things like hopes for a trade deal between US and China are giving a little bit of support to global markets in general. And so I think that may help mitigate some of the pressure.
Just one more question from me. So, relative positions in India, I think we were speaking to Fitch, and we were asking how India stacks up against the other emerging economies in Asia. I think it's fairly clear that India's domestic problems mean that its slowdown will be of a different nature than some of the other economies in Asia. So, for investors, does India not remain among the, at least the top choice at this stage?
Well, I think there has been clearly disappointment on a number of aspects, but at the same time, it's very hard for investors to discount India's growth and India's economy. I think if some of the reform measures that have been discussed and announced in recent weeks are implemented, it will go a long way towards resolving and improving foreign investor sentiment. So I wouldn't rule out India being still a key aspect of investment for foreign investors, but clearly there are a number of hurdles and challenges that need to be overcome before you see a continued or significant wave of capital coming in. And as I said, I think equity markets are still benefiting from flows. India has been the country in Asia that's seen the most equity inflow. So clearly there is still some positive sentiment there. But I think on the bond side, fiscal worries have continued to limit the ability of foreign investors, or ability, but the attraction of foreign investors to India's bond markets.
What is your call, Mitul, on the Indian currency at this stage, near term and slightly medium term?
Yeah, I think we're still looking for some gradual depreciation of the rupee. I mean, a lot depends on the dollar, but I can still see as we go into the next few months potentially moving back through 72 for dollar rupee. But I think it'll be a gradual move. We're not looking for anything dramatic here. And again, we have to look at the global context where the dollar itself has been under pressure and other Asian currencies are strengthening.
All right, Mitul, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate that quick view on the currency. I think about 0.5% lower opening, at least on the rupee. Back to you.